Hits and Crits. This video is brought to you by Asmodee.
What's up, Hits and Crits family? Welcome to another Season 7 patch review, faction deep dive on the Night's Watch today. And as you know, as expected, we have Nachtalb and myself as Night's Watch mains, as you know it, here on the channel. Great to have you, Thomas.
Great to be here as always. My brother from the wall.
My sworn brother, exactly. We will spare you that we say our vows and everything. I mean, we could, but no. Just joking. So, in terms of agenda, so what do we bring today? As in the faction deep dives, we have the impact on the faction and its list building, how like the changes reshape our decision making when putting the units together and the NCUs. We brought two lists where we think you should work with now with the changes, or what you have to consider in Season 7, what should be the go-to lists. I mean, it's early stage, but we want to give you some guidance on what we think. Then we talk about countering other factions. What do we need to think about? What is dangerous for us? Where is the weak spot? And then finally we got a secret, funny, unexpected, peculiar combo we show you just to try out. All right, so let's kick it off with a big NCU change in our mind. It's Craster. So Craster back on the menu. I mean, he wasn't bad before, but now he's just straight up more valuable and reliable. Thomas, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Craster is really interesting now. I mean, it's already an NCU that you can use to remove a condition token. Those are traditionally quite good, because it's not bad to get rid of weakened tokens before an attack or stuff like that. That's often the use case. And Craster already had this, and he has to ignore hindering and rough, which is, well, you don't, it's not really good. That's probably why we didn't see him so often. But now what he got on top for the 4 points, that's really, really good, in my opinion. It says while influencing a unit, this unit ignores the rough and hindering, or I already said that, and it cannot be targeted by enemy tactics cards. And enemy tactic board zones.
Board zones effect, yeah.
Yeah, the zone effects.
Yeah.
And the way this is worded, if you look at Barristan, for instance, which is a bit similar from the wording, you can put this on enemy units as well, which means this is like a discounted 5-point added effect, or man's effect from Free Folk. For 4 points, you then obviously you give the positives as well to your opponent. If you put it on an opponent unit, it loses a condition token. I mean, you can time it so that it doesn't have one, so it doesn't matter. Or you can do other timing stuff with the on claim and when you put the influence down and stuff like that. So you can play around that, and I mean the unit then will ignore hindering and rough, but oftentimes that is whatever as well. And then you just have like the effect that you can, for instance, you can put Craster on the sword, shoot with one of your scorpions or crossbows on the enemy, and put Craster on the enemy, so then they can't heal back with horse, with the bags, or they can't get away with horse. And that can be really strong stuff like that, and many other use cases. And I think that's what makes it really interesting now to make use out of this NCU.
Yeah, there will definitely be situations in the game where this is more important than, as you said, as the positive stuff. You probably won't care if there's no condition token or if there is no real terrain affecting it. That is way stronger to take away the heal, the movement, whatever.
And obviously, it's very good on your own units too, like on offensive moves and stuff like that. It's really cool because it's so variable. You can use it for so many different things. And I think that, in my opinion, that's a good ability that has many different use cases and gives you a lot of small options as a player,
Yeah.
and you can max it out and look where it works best.
Yeah,
So,
I think especially in the Night's Watch where we lack keywords, where we lack the ability of, or where we are like dependent on that a charge really hits, right? Because of a lot of dice, for example, this is really good to ensure that it happens. Take away weaken, take away rough, hindering, take all of this away to make sure
and
the hits
tactics from your enemy or stuff like that.
Yes.
On that charge. And
yeah. So that's really good. So he will be back on the menu for sure. All right.
And you can use them to protect conscripts very, very well. If you play against Lannisters and you have conscripts in your list, if you put Chrysler down, no subjugation on them, no crown zap on them.
Yeah.
So interesting, really interesting NCU for
that's
4
big.
points.
That's big, yeah. So we'll definitely see him way more often. So in terms of rest of the NCUs, we have Jeor, Bowen, and Sam. So Jeor and Bowen, we already talked about in the season 7 release video in terms of they gain something which brings back tactics cards, what we are losing when failing panic tests, and especially like Jeor got its start of any turn. So at the exact right moment, he could just take it and put it back. Bowen, when something dies, he can take a card away and put it in his hand to place it later to another unit. So this is basically addressing that the developers address this not cool thing that Night's Watch lose their vows in the course of the game. It happens way more often than you might think. And Sam NCU, I think he just got a little bit better with the 2 vulnerable tokens now, or the 2 tokens he can spend to put a vulnerable in the exact moment. I mean, that is cool because of the same reason I just said on Crasser, because we need vulnerable tokens. And all of us know how important it is. We use Donald to really get an attack through. He can also help with that. But I think I speak for both of us that these NCUs are probably, because of the strong Night's Watch roster, NCU roster, they still might be overshadowed by Othel, Donald, Amon, and also the new neutral NCUs we got in town. These might need to step back a little. Yeah, I think. But, Samuel, maybe in those 8-9 activation style Othel lists where you play with traditionally with the 2 NCUs plus Gilly. That's quite interesting actually. If you have crossbows in that list or so, you just can take a vulnerable on top of your shot, and you can have quite big shots with such lists. So they are all a bit niche, right? Bowen, I still think you wouldn't play him because I don't see why. Everything that happens when one of your units gets destroyed is not super good because you don't really play for your units to be destroyed, right? To stay, right? Yeah. And Bowen with his ability to take 2 cards and put them on the bottom of your deck was always weird for me.
You can get very unlucky with that.
Yes. So
you could even ask yourself if your unit dies because of a panic test, then you lose all your cards in the moment they die. So Bowen couldn't even get a card back, I think, in that case. So that's I don't know. Jeor maybe in some specialized lists where you do cool stuff with, I don't know, right by attack or stuff. Oh no, it's only attachable cards, right? I think it's only attachable cards.
It's cards that can be attached. Yes. Yeah. Only cards that can be attached. So vows, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe with stuff like in John.
Yes, I was also thinking John.
Or a watch card or stuff like that. You could maybe do some interesting thing, but they are all a bit niche. And
all a bit niche, and mainly, or what I just said, the neutrals They make it even worse,
Yeah.
right? So except Donald and Amon and all that. So Walder is obviously a thing that everyone is discussing right now. Is Walder, I don't want to say like too good or break the game and all that, all that stuff. But I'm just saying we might have a tendency of people, and we just talked about it, when you fill your third slot of NCU, you might just go for one of these strong options, which is Jacken or Walder in the end, which could be, I don't want to say a problem in terms of balance. But I will say it will definitely lead to something. You will see them all over the place, and that's probably not as fun as it should be. Especially when everyone takes Jacken, you cancel all each other out, and it just comes to, it's like rock paper scissors thing. Who comes first? Who shuts whom down? Yeah, so that could be. Yeah.
I mean, Varys, I guess, is fine like that.
Yeah.
You can still play him. He's not bad, I think, but you won't see him that often because then people will probably just take Walder. I think Walder, in my opinion, we have to see how the season develops and all of that. But with those new, really strong Juggernaut units with 3+ defense and 16 dice and 100 wounds, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And then Walder on top. I am not so sure if that's really good. I think that will be just the way to go, maybe. And then we have the problem that everybody plays Walder and Jacken. There are some kind of cheesy combinations with him. So yeah, especially when he copies some 5-point NCUs, there are some things on the horizon that maybe a bit, don't feel good if you have to play against it.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I don't want to judge right now, but they traditionally, if we had really, really strong neutral NCUs, everybody plays them. And I don't know if that's really the way to go for the future to balance things out. But interesting nonetheless. I mean, you can do some really crazy things with Walder and
which
with
is
Jacken.
fun. Which is fun. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it's fun as well. But it's kind of crazy. But we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah, and you guys have to know, both of us have a little, like, I don't want to say a grudge, but like when you see all the changes in like each and every faction, when you talk Giants, when you talk Unsullied, when you see all these like 5 and 6 point units get 3+ and crit blow all over the place, like when you see all that kind of stuff, as an Xbox player, you kind of look at your changes and you go like, nice, I like it, but I want this. I actually want this, but this is nice as well, right? So let's go to something what both of us really appreciate: the Swarm Brothers, right? Let me like, great miniatures. The first miniature I painted, exactly this one on the artwork, was exactly the first one I painted because I just love it. So now both of us feel these guys can really do something now. I mean, they keep their defensive stat, but the offensive stat goes really up now with 765, especially when we think Cotter, but we come to that later. And they gain the crit blow. So this is a unit which potentially, like in each, I don't know, 3rd, 4th, 5th game, they just one-shot something with all the dice decay, probably. This is something cool to have.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last season, that the attack profile definitely has to be like this, and now it is like this, so I think that's fine. I'm very happy with it. And I mean, our take was they need something a bit defensively to make them
Unyielding or something,
to be able to get them in, like into the fight where you need, and not they get shot down before and have no attacks left and stuff like that. But the way they went now, I like that as well. I mean, crit blow is kind of dicey, right? We all know it. But they become a real threat now, and your opponent really has to respect a charge from them with all that they can bring to the table now. And you can put some defensive attachment into them or stuff like that, so that works out too. Or make them very, very fast now, again, with Waller and some other stuff, commanders and stuff like that. So I would think you will see them, especially with Cotter and stuff like that now, definitely. They are a real threat now, I would say.
What I also always liked is when you think a defensive attachment. A lot of times, even if you put a watch captain in there with relentless, they become kind of defensive. Not defensive in a way that they defend better, but in a way that people respect you even more because you might, and with this attack profile, they will probably go around you as good as they can to not
and
go in the
potential
infight with you.
rerolls from muscle training
Yes,
and
yes.
from the light, and
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
Now I think they are interesting now, and
Yeah.
I think the design decision to go, okay, let's make them fully offensive then, is fine with it. I think
Yeah.
that's a
I feel
okay.
the same way. Okay, so back on the menu, let's talk about the bestsellers we got on the menu. So the bestsellers, veterans, always strong, always have been strong. Crazy with the Disrupt Counter-Strike, now both fueled in veterans' prowess. 766 now. Kept the precision and the defensive stat, and now also gained, they only lose one card when failing a panic test. So these are just our bestseller. Is there anything where you say their change influences how we use them?
Not really, right?
Not
They are
really.
basically the same unit, just with
A
those
bit
small
better.
buffs, and and I mean, it's kind of interesting that they put the Counter-Strike and Disrupt now together into the veterans browse. Maybe we get an attachment someday with Counter-Strike or with Disrupt, and then you could double up on it. But I mean, I doubt it, but it would be cool.
I doubt it as well.
Yeah, but it would be fun. I mean, if you see what other factions can bring to the table,
yeah, give us
could give
Disrupt for
something like that, right?
give us
Give us a
Disrupt for the
Disrupt
vets.
faction.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't probably even see it that often, but whatever. I think that's a fine change, and the live and honor to the watch. We saw the same or similar in the CBA patch from the community, and it was talked a lot about that it's like it just doesn't feel very well if you lose all your vows to a random panic test, and at least with the veterans now, you are on a bit of a safer side there.
Exactly, because, and I said it in the beginning, it happens way more often than you think when you play Night's Watch quite often, and we all talk about removing stuff from the game that feels bad, or that, like, for the player, for the opponent, for whoever. And let me tell you, if you never played Night's Watch before, that feels bad. If you got the shield out and you really tanked up your unit, or it got faster, more attacky, whatever you did to that unit, and then you lose like 2, 3, 4 cards, that feels bad. Because you invested so much also.
And 3 hit points, because I always rolled a 3 on the D3, right?
Yes, which happens.
Everybody
actually
does.
Everyone does, exactly. So the kids menu. On the kids menu, we have the Ranger Hunters. So the Ranger Hunters skirmisher. I will let you talk about the skirmisher rule. I just have a small anecdote for each and everyone out there. When we got the early files from CMon to prepare, the review the release video and all that, these guys had 3+3+ on range and melee. And the first thing I did, I was like, I opened Discord. First thing, hey Thomas, we're back. We're so back, right? We're so back. He's like, what? And I'm like, 3+3+ on Ranger Hunters. He's like, no. Well, so a few days later, I got another PDF stating it's not correct. So that was my anecdote, and that basically fuels what you're about to say about the Ranger Hunters. So
we are back to 4+.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
I
back
mean,
to 4+.
Maybe
what do you
first
think?
What changed? They got the skirmisher ruler now, which is really
good.
fitting, I think, and which is really strong as well.
Yeah.
To be able to pivot on activation to any phasing and stuff like that is really good, and even the charge bonus negation is good. And it gives them a real good mobility now in certain lists. You all know you can buff your mobility further with commanders on tactic cards in Night's Watch, and that's really good. They in maybe in a different meta, I think they could be a really strong unit, even with the 4+2 hit on range. I fear a bit that in the meta that I see coming, it's always hard to predict, right? But
Mm,
I think we will see a lot of high armor stuff in this meta, even more than we saw before. And Night's Watch traditionally has problems with that.
yeah,
And now, okay, we have really cool hunters, but I'm actually not sure if they will see
me
much
neither.
play
Yeah,
because the threats we have
to face. Yeah.
we will see, we have to face. Yeah, I think they may not be enough for it. I mean, Swift Strike always they can get very, very strong very fast, right? If you they are hard to balance. We saw this with the sand skirmishers as well. Units like that are not easy to balance because they can go over the tip
Yeah.
relatively easily
Yeah.
and get overpowered. But yeah, with the 3+, I think we would have seen them often
Yeah.
because you can play around some stuff with them, like like Relentless, which we probably will see more often too. And you can play around this a little bit with Swift Strike. So, but yeah, as I said, in the meta, I suppose we will see. I am not sure if they really have their set plays that you will see them in. Every Night's Watch player will bring one of those in his list, or even two.
Probably not.
But yeah, maybe I'm
I
wrong,
feel
and maybe
yeah. Hopefully,
we see.
we're both wrong. But yeah, because I really like Ranger Hunters from the start, from the first day I started playing Night's Watch. But but they run around a little
The,
yeah
again, the thing
teethless.
is,
Yeah.
right. The thing is again with Walder, if basically with Waller, you can make all of your units a skirmisher unit. And
Yeah,
then you
kind of.
probably just take
Yeah.
one with a high armor and crit blow and, everything,
Yeah.
and just make them your skirmishers. So maybe in a meta without Waller, you would see stuff like that more again.
True.
But yeah,
True. Yeah. Without Walder
let's see.
would be different story for both, for the sand skirmishers, for the Ranger Hunters, for the
Yeah.
Bloody Mummer. Yeah. Okay, so that was the kids menu. Now we go to another unique thing for the Night's Watch, which is war machines. Are they still off the menu? And I can pretty quickly tell you the Builder Stone Thrower, even on 6, now with all the changes, only long range from a friendly unit, only being able to take away three wounds. I mean, there is stuff with awful, you can increase that. But it becomes way harder over time when something has less ranks, like 2 ranks, 1 rank even, whatever, giants, solos, and all that kind of stuff. Basically, both of us are saying Build a Stone Thrower is just off. It's off the menu now, which is probably good. I mean, like I can't remember a time where Stone Thrower wasn't the, well, I don't want to say an issue, but where Build a Stone Thrower was debated, where it was debated, not liked, not perfectly fine for even for Night's Watch players in parts. So that's good. On the Build a Scorpion crew, that's a totally different picture, and Thomas will tell you all about it.
Yeah. I mean, the Scorpion, we had that thing for 4 points, right, in the preview. And that a lot of directly, a lot of discussion sparked around that. A lot of good players said, oh man, that could be too strong. And I mean, I would have loved to see the 4-point Scorpion.
Me
But
too.
I have to agree that if you would make this so spammable, like you probably would have seen triple Scorpion lists or even more maybe. And yeah, you can't the damage output for a unit that cheap is too high, so you couldn't really bring it for 4 points. With 5 points, I mean, the thing is with the Scorpion, and I think that stays the same as it was before. It is supposed to be good against monsters, which are stuff like dragons, maybe, and Cuff. But the dragons and Cuff are very mobile. And good players, you normally don't get to shoot them very often with that thing. If they know what they are doing, they can outplay you on the Scorpion. And it is kind of vulnerable against ranged units from the enemy. But now they made him so that he's actually good against infantry. I mean, you can shoot down half of an infantry unit. Full infantry unit, full ranks, 6 shots. If you play him in an Oslo list, you probably have spotter for rerolls. You could even play the Horned Enhancement on top, and then the damage output is very high. And infantry units can't really escape, right? If you put one of those things relatively into the middle, then okay, go on that middle objective, right? I will shoot you down, or even take 2. And that can be kind of suppressive. And so I think what we said before with the threats we will face with all the high armor infantry, especially all those juggernaut infantry units, we probably will see Scorpions, I guess, and Othel list maybe becoming one of the meta lists in Night's Watch. I mean, Night's Watch meta is always a bit diffuse in my mind because the whole faction is so mediocre in a way. There's a lot of options, but yeah. And but I think we will see this thing. I tested it yesterday, and the damage output can be really, really nice on infantry, right? That's what I would play him against high armor infantry lists that just sit on objectives and say, "I sit here, and you can't beat me."
Yeah,
With these things, you can open the cans.
Yeah, and that's good. Highly needed, because like it was also an overall theme of the season 7 patch, like Unsullied, the most obvious one, right? With the both gain 3+, and we need the tools against it. And as we said, Swarm Brothers can do it, the Scorpion can do it, the Ranger Hunters probably can't do as much. So yeah, it's a good thing. So we probably will see
can do it too. I mean, in the right lists, and
precision
safer,
always
right?
helps,
You just
obviously.
But my problem with Scorpions always is that the list building with them feels not super satisfying. All the lists I built with them, I always think like, oh, I actually would need this, but I can't take it in this list. Or I need this, but then if I take this, then another thing doesn't work.
Again, it's good, it's nice, but I want this. Okay, so
it's complicated, but I guess we'll see them definitely.
Yeah. So build a Stone Thrower off the menu. Build a Scorpion Crew on the other hand, probably in one of your 2 lists, or at least on the menu, definitely to try and to practice it. All right. So point changes. We just talked about list building. So point changes, both go down 1 point. The Watch Marshal also only suffers now 1 wound from failing panic test, which 1 wound only, not 2. So that's good as well. Both of us still do not like the disorganized on the conscripts, but it's fine for now. And as we said, for 4 points. And as we said on Craster, you now even have a tool to protect them from the panic spam, because this is what actually happened. If you face a good player, he sees your conscripts, he will just actually go over other early in the game just to decrease them as much as possible to get them out of the way, and that was hard to counter.
Yeah, you can't just crown zap them, and especially Lannister players. But maybe with Craster, you even could play them into Lennies.
Yeah.
Once.
Just once. Okay, so you can do that. So the Watch Marshal, I feel, is really interesting because he can really pimp your units in terms of positioning, in terms of even the +1 attack die, the -1 from failing panic tests. I mean, that's a nice add-on, but the plus attack die and the movement shenanigans, because he's also like really fast, he can be where he needs to be, and this +1 attack die, when you think Corrin, probably when you think boldness and courage and all the dice decay we can build up with him, that's actually a really good 3-point solo. Yeah.
And solos are back now and good now because Tywin is gone. And the way they made it with the
and various
panic,
5 points.
they don't lose a lot of panic, that he only loses 1 max from panic, makes him playable into Lenny's too. Before that, solos often were crown zapped with a Himiro and all that shit, Tywant and whatever.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really play them into a lot of matchups, but I think now they are pretty safe to play.
Yeah.
And I think the watch marshal for
Maybe even
3
2.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played 2 days before. I played a game with a Cotta list with double solo watch marshal.
Mhm.
And you can do really crazy stuff with that. I mean, obviously the dice don't stack and stuff like that, but the double tactical repo is really, really good. And sorry, I need to take a sip here.
Well, good. And Watcher on the Wall, right? You can also add on, right? You have them, the tech repo, the Watcher on the Wall, +1 movement. You might even bring Walder for an extra movement and a pivot, right? But maybe one sentence on Walder also on the Scorpion. So when you play one Scorpion or 2 Scorpions, you might also think about Walder because he can enable them to, in the right moment, just pivot around and place them back where they need to be. So also interesting. But here on the watch marshals, you can really increase what you have on the field with those guys. So I see they are definitely where they should be, how you would imagine them, how they should work. So that's great.
Yeah. No, sorry guys.
No problem. So let's head over to the 2 lists we prepared. We try to fuel in the new stuff as good as possible. So this is the 2 lists we were thinking of. Let's while you take your sip, the first list is definitely Cotter Pike, because we already teased it when we took a look at the Sworn Brothers, because they have an incredible attack profile now, and him with Pike aggression. It used to be 4, right? Now it's 5 with crit blow. So if you stack it right, if you prep it right, if you can get Cotter in quickly and you have the right cards with these guys, man, that's gonna hurt. That's really gonna hurt. You have the other Sworn Brothers with the auto charge, and the Commander Steward, obviously, to be able to do Pike aggression there as well. So you have 2 units which are really, really hard to ignore. Ranger Vanguard Cold Hands is a classic, always good. Sometimes you even do the outflank Ghost and Watch Marshal just to enables you to out activate certain lists as well. So that's the first list.
You take a lot of room, right, with the reckless heroism units. You have a huge control space, basically.
Yeah.
And as I said, you can play this list with you just take a watch captain into the second infantry unit, and then instead of Ghost, just play a second watch marshal.
Watch marshal.
Works too.
Yeah.
Maybe consider Sam. When I played it, I played instead of the Vanguard, I played the crossbows with Sam. So you get your Cotter Pikes, your Cotter
the Pike aggression
cards, right?
Yeah, the
Pike cards, you really need the cards, so it's probably better to put
to double tap and stuff.
Yeah. And obviously you can say, okay, I only play 1 unit of Sworn Brothers with Cotter, and with my watch captain I like Vets more, or
stuff like obviously.
That's all possible. But I think with what we got now with the new watch marshal, that he's playable, I think Cotter gets he gets a real buff. The whole Cotter playstyle is easier now for us. You can build better lists. Walder on top. Cresta is really nice too.
Cresta, Walder,
it's a bit bad to have 2 influence abilities, so maybe think about switching one of those NCUs, but in the end you get the gist of it, and I think Cotter we will see him more definitely next season.
Yeah. So on the second list, Thomas.
Benjin? The second list, I wouldn't say it's. Or did you want to talk about it first? Or
no, you go. You go.
I mean, the second list, I wouldn't say that will be a meta list or stuff like that. I think they are maybe the full cuff list will
We have
prevail,
a
or maybe
backup. There is a
we will
backup.
see also
So
the
yeah,
list. Yeah,
yeah.
but I think Benjen, infantry commander, definitely still a very strong Night's Watch commander. You should consider him. And I mean, this list is just like to show a bit what you can do with the new cheaper units, right? You can get some high activation lists relatively easily. The Scorpion is interesting with Benjen Infantry Commander, I think, because you have the lying in wait plus the Overwatch, and you can do some funny stuff there. And here we have the Jack and Othel combination of NCUs. And yeah, I didn't test it by now, but in theory, against certain opponents like
Yeah.
Martells, maybe some Greyjoy lists, that
Free folk.
could be really crazy, right? You
Yes.
just have 3 rounds where you can do double Othel, and you can really overload the
Overload
damage
damage
on some
everywhere.
point
Yeah.
of the battlefield with that.
Yeah.
So that could be kind of maybe I'm not sure, but maybe at least I think it won't feel very good for an enemy if he has to take those orbital strike barrage, especially because every other orbital strikes in the game are gone, right? No, the spear thrower giants, but yeah, that's another topic.
Let's not talk about it. Let's
Yeah.
not talk about it. Yeah, so this list really like takes what we've seen in the patch now, but we actually it's another list. You are, most of you Night's Watch or Swarm Brothers out there can relate, and people that know Thomas and me quite well know, and Gabo is one of the most excellent players with this list. We both feel that we still will have the full CAF at our disposal, and that is probably still a thing that runs really good, that is well rounded. It changes now probably a bit. We both feel that Hedge Knights are now up there with their new changed unit with the Glory Seeker. They can really hold up stuff. They bring the Sundering, which is normally not built in within Night's Watch, so that's great. Yeah, again, like Jaqen is basically replacing Varys now on 4 points, and basically does the what do you call it, the barrage, the orbital strike barrage, so that which is needed because Varys would be too expensive to spam the sword or like react on sword. So that's the list, and we still feel that is a running system which works well. And it will also in season 7. So you might go for Othel or Cotter and this one.
Yeah, maybe one can opener, right?
Yeah,
one can opener and one
this one.
mobile list.
Yeah.
Stuff like that could be maybe the way to go. I mean, you can play tanky, grindy lists too, right? But yeah, we have to see where it develops with the other factions as well.
Yeah, obviously.
Because
but this is our best take, at least.
Not really, like Night's Watch is not really setting the meta, I think, at least. I mean,
well, they used to. They used to for quite some time, so we're fine on the sideline for now. We will just
we always have to maybe react a little bit to what the other factions do as well, and have to see where this develops.
Which is kind of thematic, but yeah, let's.
The full CAF playstyle. I mean, it gets weaker because of Walder again, because people will have Walder, and it will be much harder to use your mobility when he is around. But yeah, it's still a viable playstyle, I think. In many matchups.
Yeah. So why these 3 or 2 lists? Why and we already talked about the cans, these tanks in season 7. So what we really have to think about, and we already teased it here and there with the Ranger Hunters, with the Swarm Brothers. So what is actually a real problem for Night's Watch is these really tanky units, a lot of health points, like in the Kingsguard, Rainbow Guard, Giants, the Unsullied Pikemen here is an example with the 3 armor, the Unyielding, because what could happen is when you go in as a Night's Watch or like with your units and you get stuck somewhere and you might not have the tools to overcome your opponent. You really need to do damage as good as possible, or as high like damage peak as good as possible, and these units are basically neglecting this. So we need to work around it. We need somehow to work around this, because we do not have the keywords or the tools to accept the Scorpion, right? Except so these are the ones you need to be afraid of and think about when you see your opponent bring 2 lists. You have to you need to bring your list that can counter these things. Yeah. Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, for the Scorpion and the Giants, we'll have to see how this is ruled in the end, because the 2 rules of them basically, they even kind of out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe for balance, it would be good if Scorpion would trump the Giant rule, but who am I to say? I don't know, because the Giants feel maybe a bit over the curve, I would say. But it's all feelings up till now. I haven't played against them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scorpions could be a way to go, as I said already, against those infantry juggernauts, right? We will see where we have to go, but we definitely have to think about those high armor threats, and I think about the new Giants. Probably everybody has to think about them a little bit, because there are a lot of units in the game now that we cannot really fight in melee, so we still need some kind of range, I think, and mobility, and those are still the ways maybe to go for Night's Watch.
Yeah. All right, so that basically covers all the changes, the lists we would choose.
One thing. Sorry, I forgot.
No problem.
Maybe think about it. I'm not sure. People have to try. Maybe against giant stuff, we see a resurgence of Donald Commander, because he can be really good with the lash out into giants.
Lash out, yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We could try it, I guess, but I'm not sure if it's enough. And the Donald NCU still is super good, so yeah.
Yeah, true. But what a shame that his defensive formation, they don't care. Giants don't care. Great axes don't care. All that stuff doesn't care. But
if the
lash out is big.
If the free for player then decides to go his horde list, then maybe the defensive formation is good. Then you just sit on objective and put defensive donate, and they can't hurt you, right?
Yeah. We have to think about this. Way more. All right. So this basically covers the list building, the changes, the impact of the changes, what we need to think about when playing the game now. And we got one last thing for you on the road to take away. Which is something that some or let's say a good amount of experienced Night's Watch player know, but we still want to tell you, which is really funny when you do your kitchen table games, or even if you want to surprise someone, because it's not something that you see like each and every day or in each and every tournament. So one for the road, we prepared this list. So Jon Snow, Ranger Hunters, always a great combo, because you give the boldness and courage, you do the vulnerable on the charge, so perfect combo. You bring Ghost, and then you bring the centerpiece, which is the veterans with Edison Tollett. So Edison Tollett, for you see it on the right side. He basically, as soon as a rank is lost, you gain a token. If another rank is lost, you gain another token, and these tokens add up. So if you have one, this unit can never be targeted by enemy orders, tactics cards, or be influenced by enemy NCUs. So basically the full package. You get the full package. This unit is not really touchable from wherever, and even shuts down and actually shuts down so much in the game, which Thomas will talk about soon, but it shuts down so much, and with a second token they even hit on 2s then. So that's big. You bring the conscripts to just for the heal, to heal back, to fuel them back, because we are basically playing into hit me, reduce me to a rank. And then we heal them back. Also cmon, same aspect. And Ranger Trackers with the Watch Marshal is always a great combo to have. It's just a straight up good unit, one of the best 6-point units in the game. Hide them behind the stakes, be like really fast, go around the flanks, try to shoot and like vulnerable and shoot in the flank. Try this. And John brings a card which is called Stand United Brothers, which can also actively remove a rank and heal the same amount somewhere else, or if it's John's unit, even +2 without removing the model, so up to 6. So this is basically the list with Edison Tollett, and I felt Thomas had some really great ideas on what it can shut down in the game in terms of orders and all that kind of stuff. So, Thomas, what do you think about this one for the road?
Right, everybody loves Edison somehow, but somehow, and he is not that bad, but somehow you never really see him played. I played him once in season 6, and when I played him, I really liked it actually. I played against Baratheons, and a lot of things that you wouldn't maybe think about in the first place will target you, like Final Strike, like Resilience. I think Shield Ball as well. A lot of defensive abilities, orders, will target the attacker. And if you get Edison down this one rank once, then you just heal him back up with all the heal stuff you have in that list. Then the whole game over, nothing like this can target him anymore. So against Baratheons, I sent that unit veterans into a unit of Stag Knights with attachment and stuff, and they couldn't fight the vets. They had no chance. The resilience was gone, stuff like that. I mean, they don't have resilience now anymore, I think, but you see the point. And against Martells, it's very good. No rising temps more on this unit, and similar stuff. So actually, I really liked it, and I think this list here is really good.
Yeah, it's well-rounded as well.
With Walder on top, right? Walder brings them everywhere. It's just try it, I guess.
Yeah, try it out.
Have some fun.
Yeah, and actually, Fire Made Flesh, when you hate playing against dragons like I do, it also shuts down Fire Made Flesh because it also targets the vets then, in that case. Or in this game plan.
Attack the vets, right?
I mean, in our game plan, it does. Yeah. So,
but if we, with Walder, maybe we are able to bring the vets even to the dragons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're fast enough. All right. Yeah. So that one was for the road. Thanks for watching, guys. This is our take on the early take on the Night's Watch season 7. I hope you liked it. Drop your comments down in the comment section. What do you feel about the Night's Watch? What's your most favorite change? What's your most favorite army you're gonna play soon? We're highly interested to dig through the comments and try that out as well. So I feel, Thomas, nothing more to say. Until we meet again, guys, roll those crits.
Come for the hits and stay for the crits.